Now, I think this thing ships with oil in it, so I think we're okay. We're not gonna put any oil in. Hey folks, welcome back to the garage. Today we're gonna be taking a look at this T-56 Magnum transmission I just bought from Silversport. And yeah, we're gonna go over checking the gears, making sure that they shift into gear, and we can turn the input shaft. I have the bell housing indicated. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in gear. We're gonna make sure that this still turns and that we see movement or feel movement here. I'm gonna ask you to take a quick look. Ready? Did it turn? I'm gonna try every gear. Good. Third. Perfect. Fourth. Perfect. Fifth. Oh yeah, we're turning. Sixth. All right, that's good. This transmission is equipped with an electronic reverse lockout, so it might be difficult to get it all the way in. I might have to apply some 12 volts to the solenoid to get it into reverse, but we'll give that a try in a little bit. But yeah, 6 forward gears work. You do have to check the reverse. I'm excited. She might be moving soon. Let me just get my bearings with this. This thing's super heavy. It's not super heavy, it's like 130 pounds, but I'm a tiny little weakling of a man. So I'm gonna try to remove this from the box, place it on the transmission jack that I have, and we're gonna try to get it up underneath there, into position, raise it up, push it in. Before we do that though, we have to assemble the clutch fork with the throwout bearing. We should have access to everything once it's in here. We will be doing the speed sensor connection for the reverse lockout, so that reverse is only enabled at low speeds. Yeah, and we'll fill it up, and then we will make sure that we have this solidly connected, and maybe even go through some of the gears. Probably not going to start it up today because I still have to put the headers back on. The starter has to go back in. It's still kind of in pieces at the moment. So let me get that all squared away, and then we'll meet back up when we're ready to work on this. Guys, I also want to just show you the other stuff that I got with the transmission from Silversport. So this is the reverse lockout solenoid. Basically, you hook this up to the speed sensor, 12 volt, and a body ground. This also allows you to hook up if you're using a electronic speedometer, which I'm not. So this is going to just control that. And then we're going to use the mechanical speedometer side for the mechanical speedometer. This is hardware for the Stiffler's Crossmember. And speaking of which, the Stiffler's Crossmember for a Foxbody. Hopefully this will fit with the headers. The headers did say that you should use a Stiffler's Crossmember, so I don't really have a choice anyway. This might also have the requested hardware for the, yeah, so check this out. They gave me the extra wiring. This hooks up to the vehicle speed sensor, and then you can tie that into this. This is hardware for the isolator, which I do not have. Perfect, so I have everything that I need, thanks to Silversport. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I paid for all this out of pocket at large expense to myself and my family. But yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. Right, this is shifter handle bolts. So I have to put the shifter on to test the reverse. You can push it through the lockout, so we'll just see if we can do that. Just do it on this side for now. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Reverse. Okay. Yep, she turns. Hell yeah. All right, we're good. Let's take this back off. Also, no, this is not the shifter handle that we're gonna go with when we're actually installing. Well, we're gonna use this for now because that seat is so far back, but I am gonna get a shorter, much shorter handle But I think it looks pretty good. Now I did calculate the size of the gear that I needed based on the size of the tires that I'm gonna run. I believe this is it. I'm gonna double check this before this goes in the car, but LMR hooked it up. They have a calculator on their site, not sponsored. But check it out if you need a speedometer gear. And they even send you the retaining ring. Hell yeah. I have a question though. Doesn't this add significant weight to this rotationally that would cause it to be out of balance at high speeds? Well, it's on there. Could always take it off if we need to, or change it. I don't think I ever showed this, but this is the isolator I bought. So it does not have studs. It does come with its own hardware for the bottom here, but the ones that I bought have the hardware for here. Just checking for fit. Yep, looks like that'll fit. Okay, next up. This is a Ford clutch lever that I think is the right one. This goes on that little mushroom cap. This looks like it's all pre-greased, which is great. I do like to put a little bit of extra grease. Getting pre-greased here as well. Nice heavy weight over here. I might put a little bit of grease on the outside of this. Just a thin film. This is the part that contacts the fingers on the clutch. So when you push this in, this pushes the fingers in, releases the clutch. Now there's a, if you look, there's a bulge here. I believe that is to keep this from... That goes on the front of the transmission as it's going in and slides into the bell housing. It's going to be clocked about like this. Clutch cable comes from inside the car around to here. Let's put this back. It's a couple weeks later. Today I realized that I'm going to need to move that jack stand. So today's all about getting ready. I need to back the car out. I need to move this out of the way because I'm going to need jacking space. I do have that transmission adapter over there. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that or if I'm going to use I'm probably going to use that because it's got the chains and stuff on it. But that's got to move. I'm wondering if I should just put the wheel on and put it on a ramp going this way. That might work. I might get a little bit higher. So we'll experiment with that, and then I want to test the Stiffler's Crossmember, try to get it. I think what they said is that I'm going to have to move this all the way to the back and then put all the spacers in the front. But we'll try to just get this pushed all the way, and then, yeah, we'll see. Just want to make sure it fits laterally this way. You know what? Actually, if you look, those might be elongated enough. I'm not sure. I don't know if you can see that. The holes have to be, in some cases, elongated a little bit. So we'll see about that. Yeah, but I have to get this in a place where it's ready to be installed. So it weighs about 135 pounds, something like that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to lift this out myself. First things first, I got to slide it out of the way over this way and make some more room here. So let's do that. But at this point, I'm going to wrap a strap around the whole thing, maybe two, and we will try to get it as stable as possible. Might not stay on this I might use that jack. We'll see. All right, remember today's still about planning. So we're planning how we're gonna get this in. Notice that is quite a bit higher than the bottom of the car there. That's okay. What we can possibly do now that we have the wheels on there is jack under the pumpkin and bring this up quite a bit, slide this in, and then that jacks upwards. I'll have to take the strap off or adjust it or something, and then crank it up, push it in, and then we'll be good. Now that this is on here, I can work on it and I can get the clutch fork ready. This is pretty solidly on here. It's not like super tight, but it's good enough to keep it from falling off. Next thing I'm gonna do for today is just check the Stiffler's crossmember, make sure it fits, and then what's next? What's after the Stiffler's crossmember? Maybe even install the speedometer gear, which I think is over here. There's a block-off plate for it. I guess it comes pretty close to here because there's a little knockout. All right, last thing for today, I just want to clean up this, get this off. Just want to mention I did measure this before and I measured it after with the clutch reinstalled and I got similar results. My run out was like, it was over here, it was like 0.0035, something like that. So that comes out to like 0.00175 inches of run out. So yeah, we're good. I'm gonna pop this off and then, whoops, I'm bleeding. And then we'll check that crossmember. All right, let's give this a try and see what we gotta do. Yeah, that looks better. I mean, obviously, it's not fully. Now this one is kind of smashed a little bit. So it's no surprise to me that it doesn't quite fit here. Okay, that side is in. It is a tight fit. And they just don't need to be this tight. They'll pull together. So I have to hit these with a hammer. Let's put this side in first because this side slides. Yeah, let's do that first. All right. Stiffler's fits, and I think we'll be good with the headers too. These are dropped a little bit, but I think that's fine. So we'll have the lift coming up this way, and then we'll push it in, and then we will slide this up. Okay, perfect. Folks, it's coming together. I'm gonna stop this video here. This is transmission install prep number 1, and then we'll do just transmission install prep, and then we'll do a transmission installation video. Hopefully coming up real soon because I really want to get this going. I am gonna try to get that starter put in first because getting to those bolts is not easy, and I'll do that off camera because it's a huge pain in the ass. But hell yeah, guys, we're getting there. I still have to buy a drive shaft, but when we get the drive shaft, this thing is driving. Thanks for watching. Drop me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. 25 years this thing hasn't moved on its own power. 25 years. Soon. If you noticed, the battery died in this thing. I had to jump it. This is the 06. I'm going to install this, which came with the battery tender. Just like a quick connector, because I hate hooking up those connector thingies. Now, I held off doing this because I didn't want to accidentally kill the battery. But that ship has obviously sailed. Triple charge. All right, cool. Charging.